Are your customers even listening to what you have to say? A couple of days ago, I was in the process of cleaning my office, and you'll never guess what I found. I found a cassette tape. Remember these? I found it and I thought, wow, I haven't heard this particular cassette tape in a while. So I thought, well, listen to it. Except I had a small problem. I looked all over my house and I realized I don't have a cassette player anymore. So I thought, well, I'll try it out in my car. Not in the car either. Took it to the office, didn't have one there either. And then I looked at my cassette tape and I thought, man, I can remember the good old times when I used to listen to the songs on this tape. And then something hit me. This cassette tape represents so many salespeople right now, I think, in the economic crisis. Used to be good, used to be powerful, used to be very effective, but now it's out of date, and now it's no longer relevant. I have a question for you. Are you being relevant with your customers? According to the dictionary, relevance means that you're interconnected to something, or you're specifically knowledgeable about something. And I think that this is a very, very important question that you need to ask yourself. Are you relevant about the economic crisis? See, if you're not relevant, your customers are not going to listen to you, you're not going to close sales, and you can't possibly hope of taking care of your existing customers. Now, you might think, well, is relevance really that important? Is it? How important is it? Well, think about it like this. If you don't have relevance in the eyes of your customers, you don't have any influence. And if you don't have influence, a couple of problems here. First of all, you don't have any power with your customers. Second, you don't have any leverage in the market. And number three, almost guaranteed, your confidence is going to be very, very low. So your ability to be relevant to a customer and their situation and the market that we're in now is incredibly important. Now, a lot of salespeople I know are overwhelmed with all the negativity with this economic crisis. Look, I understand that. Still, there are things you can do to increase your influence with your customers and become relevant. Look, you can't sit back and get caught in the bad or talk about the bad and not lead forward. What you've got to do is take a step forward and start becoming more relevant in the life and the business of your customers. And here's how you do it. In order to help you develop more relevance in this economic crisis, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a look at this from the customer's point of view, specifically what they're saying in their mind. And I want to share with you some things that I know your customers are saying internally about how they're seeing you and really what they're almost silently asking you to do. You see, if you can follow what I'm going to outline here, it'll help you to add a lot more energy and a lot more life to your work and your routine, and ultimately give yourself more relevance in the customer's eyes, increasing your influence. Number one, customer says, I want to know that you know what's going on. If you expect a customer to buy from you, and specifically buy something today that has to deal with their situation today and impact their future in some way, they got to know that you know what's going on. Specifically, I'm talking about what's going on in relation to the economic crisis. Also, they want to know that you know what's going on in the general market. They probably also want to know that you know what's going on in their industry. And also, they want to know that you understand and can appreciate what's going on in their company. Look, if you can't answer this for the customer, then in their mind, you have no relevance and ultimately you have no influence. Number two, customer says, please stop boring me to death. Because of the economic crisis, everything in business is changing. And if you're going to continue to do the same things that you did last year or the year before and hope they're going to work, you're in for a very, very rude awakening. And it's not only that. Not only will they not work, your customer's bored by this. Look, in good times, maybe you could come up with some cute expressions or some nifty presentations that might have gotten people's attention. But now, customer doesn't have time for that, and they don't want to be bored. They want to see something fresh, they want to see something new, and they want to see something that will help them solve their problems. This episode continues next week on Sold. Here's a sneak preview. In addition to not being boring, if you want to have relevance, you've got to create an approach that's fresh. So if you're following step by step by step the way that you used to sell now, you know what's going to happen? You're not going to be aligned with the customer's new process. What you're going to have to do if you want to be effective is change the way you respond during negotiations, during customers' questions, and when they object. Don't miss it.